Okay guys, so in this video what I wanted to do is I want to talk about the grip, and I think that the majority of golfers get the idea of the grip wrong. Now we're going to be citing Pete Cowen, but I'm also going to be citing this exercise which I'm going to share with you in a moment. Now, first of all, when you hold the golf club, you are doing a couple of things. You're positioning your hands in such a way where you should, on your lead hand, get the club in the fingers, get the heel pad on top, and then rotate this hand over somewhat, and then position your trail hand kind of, working in unison. But aside from that, what's much more important is once you understand and you've established a relatively orthodox grip, it's more about the functionality of what your grip is supposed to be doing. Now, first of all, how I like to explain it, let me use my rope drill. So, get yourself a bit of rope, okay? I literally just pop it over the top of my neck there, create a little lasso, put my lead arm through it, like so. So what I've basically done is I've replaced now my lead arm with a piece of rope, okay? Now, once I get into my setup position, I am consciously keeping this, should we say, taut. So you guys can kind of hear that. So that's the first thing. Now when I swing back, my arm needs to function in such a way, hear that? Like so. And then as I come down, okay, like so. So that's one of the things that I'll say, because most golfers don't really realise that you're supposed to be doing that. Now that is known in the kind of golfing terms and the biomechanical terms as an extensor force. So it's an extending force, and that's the idea of what you want to be doing when you're actually holding the club. So the first thing to understand is you take hold of the club, you position your hands in such a way, and then when you swing back, you should be consciously trying to push the club away from you, you should be consciously trying to push the arms down, and you should be consciously trying to push the arms out. That's one of the things that you need to do. Now, coming back to Pete Cowen, where does that come into it? Well, Pete Cowen talks a lot about the hands, and he talks a lot about this sort of towel idea, which is almost like if you imagine that you had a heavy towel full of water and you want to wring the towel dry. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of exactly the reasons why. What I like though is not necessarily so much the analogy of both of the hands doing this, although I'm sure it's absolutely fine, it will work really well, but what I do like is the idea, if you have this sort of towel, that you are trying to wring, okay, with the right hand. Okay, so if you imagine, as I take the club back, I'm trying to get a feeling that I am almost scrunching it. See what I'm doing here? Like so. This is a good thing, because what this does, this gets the upper arm connected to the side of the body, it gets the palm facing away from you, and it makes the downswing way easier. Most golfers are like so. So it's this way, okay? So the way I'm wringing that towel out. And I think then, all of a sudden, you've got something really good going for you, because you understand the functionality, as I demonstrated from the rope, is that your hand is supposed to be applying a force outward. However, you could apply it outward like this. If you think about wringing the towel, see the way my palm now faces towards you, and that gets your right arm into a really good backswing position, as I'm demonstrating here, which makes the downswing way, way easier. So, double check your grip. Like I say, when you're gripping the club, you just want to grip it relatively orthodox. Whether you're strong, weak or neutral doesn't make a difference, but then start to become more aware of your grip pressure. So when you are holding the club, you want to make sure that your palm, your trail palm, is applying pressure towards the side of your thumb, so you feel like you're going to be pushing the club in that direction. In the backswing position, you want to make sure that your trail palm is pushing your thumb away from you, down into the ground, through on the way through, and I promise you, it'll make a massive difference. See you soon.